Hey everyone, it is Melissa from Sincerely Creative Mom. We are going to make a super cute pancake wreath. However, we're going to add some really cute embellishments at the end to kind of just level up our wreath. So we're going to start with the easiest wreath form on the planet, our patent pending pancake wreath frame that has spots available just exactly where your pipe cleaners have to go. So we're going to add those exactly in the spots. There's 12 spots. So I'm going to go right where the hole and the notch kind of places are, not kind of, right where they are. And I'm going to twist my pipe cleaner right on the edge, close to where that notch is. So not like in the notch, but on top of the wood, right where the notch is. And that is going to help. So if I do it on the outside, and the twist is close to the outside and the twist is close to the inside, that's going to help our mesh that we're going to use in just a moment separate a little bit, because we are going to put two complete separate layers. Now, both layers will not be the same. However, they will be very similar as far as the mesh and ribbons go. And then we'll be adding in that nice little bundle that we have here. I do have lots of stuff pre-done, pre-made, so it's going to go a little bit quicker. We're just going to add that last one in. Perfection. Easy breezy. Then set those aside. Then we're going to take our mesh. So a little bit different with our mesh here. Usually I ruffle up this way. I guess I do ruffle up this way. Never mind. I was thinking I ruffled it up the other way, but we do want to make sure that we have these cute little polka dots showing. So our mesh is 20 inches long, 20 inches. And, you know, you can use any, and I will say any, you can use any deco mesh on this style. The point of the deco mesh, even though this is super cute, I get it, but the point of the deco mesh for me in this design is to be a supporter of the ribbon. So you're not going to see a lot of it, and that's okay, but you will see in real life when it's on your door, you will see the perfect amount of it. Now, I believe that there is a certain design that you want to see mesh, or certain time that you want to see mesh. Some people like things more simple, so they may like to see more mesh. It's all on what you like. Okay, so don't be coming at me like, oh, you can't see the mesh. Why would you put it in? You're putting it in so that it's not super flat, so that it does all around look full, and so that you can see it a little bit in the final result. So I know you're looking at it from the very top angle, but in real life, when you make yours, you will see. You can see the mesh just a little. And that's exactly what I want this design to be, because in this design it's all about the ribbon. Okay, so we're going to keep going. We have 20 inches. We're just ruffling right up the center, so I'm going to try to go right up the center as best as possible. Scrunch, 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 keeping that center really small, keeping that center super small. Overlap, overlap those polka dots. Give a really fun feel to this design. Right up the center, right up the center. Perfection. All the way. Right down on the bottom. Now, if you saw us from one of our super fast reels where it was going so fast, please let us know in the comments so I can know where you're coming from or how you saw this video, how you found this video. Maybe you just searched in and it came up. So let us know in the comments where you found us. Okay, so from here, we are going to add in our layer of ribbon. And I'm going to move this out of the way so it's a little bit quieter. We're going to add in a layer of ribbon. And that's because I want to be done with this outside piece, this outside layer. And I'm going to add in my ribbon so that I don't have to come back to this outside layer and play with it anymore. So it's going to be all done. I'm going to add it in. And we won't leave it like that, but we will come back and fix it for sure. It's nice and tight. Everything goes out toward the edge. That's the way we want it. We have a nice pretty bow that's going to go here on the end. Twist, 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 twist. So having everything for me so that you can have a little easier experience, having everything prepared ahead of time. Not only do I do that for the tutorials, but I do that for when I'm creating even behind the camera, even when the camera isn't on. So it just makes the whole process go a little bit easier. My mesh is 20 inches. My ribbons are 14 inches. So I take the ribbon that I like the most, the one that I call my cutesy ribbon or the cute ribbon or the graphic ribbon, whatever one you like the most, that's the one that goes on the top. So that you can see it a little tiny bit more, because the one that goes on the bottom, which I call a supporter, you can't see it just a little bit less, you don't see it. I don't know if that made sense. I think I said my words backwards. Okay, so now I have my ends off that I don't need, that they're going to get my way. And I'm just going to pull this, push that forward, push it down, push it down, push it down, and then lift these up and down and side to side. So that again, I can see all of those ribbons. Very important to be able to see them all. Now, again, don't worry about the mesh. You will be able to see it. This is getting in the way, sorry. You will be able to see it in person. And it is really cute, and I do love it. But as cute as it is, it's still not the star of the show. That bow and the sign on the top will be my focal. Push it down, push it down, apart, side to side, apart, side to side. Really cute. So always a crowd favorite, those snowmen, you know, they go into the winter season, not just the Christmas season. So it's a item that you or your customer can leave up for longer. I would advise that you are watching and keeping an eye on it, because you want to be able to get more than one season out of your design. Let's face it, the sun can do some fun things. So we want to make sure we are not leaving it in direct sunlight for too long. Okay, so what we're going to do now is add the same thing. We're going to do the same thing from here to here. From here to here. We're going to do the same thing. Everything so far is the same. So we're just going to go right up the center again, right up the center, scrunch, 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 so that center is super, super tiny. Coming right on the top, so I'm not moving anything out of the way, right on the top. Right down in there, nice and tight, crisscross, one full twist. We're not going to twist too many times, just because I don't want that to kind of build up where our when our ribbons go in, they'll be floppy. So just one good twist is all you need. Perfect. Then we're just going to keep going all the way around the exact same, and then we'll add and create those bundles, add the bundles, make our bow, etc. Okay. Right on top. So if you don't know, I am a part of a creative coaching group where we are very detailed like this, except this is a design that I make all the time. I actually created this design, this pancake wreath. I'm a co-designer, creator on the actual frame, which is awesome. But mostly when you see me live, I'm pretty much making the same thing in slight variations usually. Over in the coaching group, we do all sorts of designs, number one. Number two, there are 6 or 7 of us, different coaches, teaching different things, different personalities, different expertise. Lots of fun ideas going on over there. Most of us, all of us have a business, a creative business, so we have those ideas going too. And so the things that we are making or going through in our own business, we're bringing people in over there, and you know, usually bringing people along the way. So, you know, lots of fun things going on. If you're interested in learning more about the group, what it entails, what it involves, what we do, all those things, you can go over to learnfrommelissa.com. Learnfrommelissa.com is a directory. You can find all the things we can help you with, including the link for the coaching group. So you don't have to have a business to be in that group. You just have to want to learn a little more detailed, just like this. So it's not scary. No one's going to test you. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to talk. So just like this, all the videos are, we do lives, but we also have everything recording. So if you miss something, or someone's recording, or you're on vacation, or whatever, you can always go back, which is really nice. Okay, putting that mesh in right to the bottom so it covers the frame as much as possible. Speaking of the frame, no one loves the frame more than I do, being that it's created upon the design that the wreath recipe that I created, and I'm the co-designer on the pattern, so no one loves that frame more than I do. However, you, I'm sure, don't want to see the frame, and if you're doing this for business, I'm sure your customer doesn't either. So we're doing our best to cover it. And I love how this turns out with our layers. Starts to look so full at this point, and those polka dots on the end of this mesh are so cute. Okay, so we're gonna do the same exact thing with our ribbon. Same exact thing. Again, we have two 2.5 inch ribbons, two 2.5 inch ribbons. They're 14 inches long. I'm going to scrunch up the center so it's little. Everything goes out facing towards me, and I'm going to set that baby right in. And now I can twist about 7 or 8 times so that it can stay. And then, of course, I'm going to take them apart, pull them apart, and so that we can see all of our ribbons, right? I want to make sure I can see all of them, all going around. Now, as you see, after I put them in, I'm not playing with them. I'm not playing with them so that, you know, I know that at the very, very end, the last thing I do is I'm going to go and make sure you can see every single one of those ribbons. So if I'm playing with them as I go around, I don't mean this to say me, I'm just wasting time, right? I'm just wasting time. I'm going to do that at the end. I know that I've put them in there nice and tight. I know that I've pulled them apart so that they are going to be independent from one another, and they will move and stay the where I want them to. And so after I pull them apart now, then I don't touch them. You can see the outside I don't think I've touched, which maybe I did, but I usually don't, just because I know I'm going to do that at the very end, right? Oh, actually, I just totally lied to you. I am not twisting these all the way because we have that thing we're going to put in. Let me twist them once. I'm glad I didn't do all of them. Sorry about that. Let me untwist, because we do have these cute things we're going to add. Just something different, leveling up our pancake, our normal, just regular design. This would be like just another step as far as your level, your price point goes. So I'm going to add those in. Whoopsie. Forgot all about those. We are going to put those in. So otherwise I would be adding the ribbons like this, adding our sign and adding a bow, and then done. This one, I just thought, how cute would it be if we added just one more step, just one more simple step. And actually, for the items that we purchased for this, it actually did not raise the price horribly. You know, usually when we're adding in picks and sprays and we're adding in a whole bunch, the price, you know, of the design kind of goes up considerably. However, in this, we just chose to do the top 6 instead of all of the pieces, which is totally fine, and you'll see how it works out. It's going to be very cute. All right, so now, okay, I have those pipe cleaners open and ready. So now I'm going to take our couple of pieces here and some zippy ties. And so this came on, there were 6 pieces on this, so I only needed one of this stem. This is from Hobby Lobby. I was able, on this piece, also from Hobby Lobby, I was able to get 2. So I needed 2, 4, 6. I needed 3 of those. So 1 of those, 3 of those. This piece had 3 pieces, so I needed 2 of those. And this piece had 3 pieces, so I needed 2 of those. And what I mean by that is it had 3 pieces, like it had 3 separate, you could tell, pieces, right? So, excuse me, I was able to pull those down and make 3 separate bundles. So this had 6. So I had 6 pieces of pine, etc. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take our white glittery fern, put it on the bottom, then our green, then our black, then our red berry. Okay, take that and add my zip tie. Now my hands are not the best, so I like to get that as super tight as possible. So I'm going to use my nifty little tool that you may have seen me use, but I do use it all the time just because it really does help me. So it cuts, it tightens and cuts at the same time, which is very helpful. If you're looking for that, you can find it over at learnfrommelissa.com as well. All right, so from here, now that it's all nice and tight, now I can move things around a little bit and make it, you know, move and do what I want it to. This one's attached here. Let me just unattach that. So it'll be move. There we go. So it'll move a little bit. There we go. So I have those colors, the textures all over the place. Now I made 6 of those. Okay, so I already have the other 5 ready to go. And watch what we're going to do. Easy breezy, okay? Easy breezy. Now, before I start, I will say this can get expensive depending on what you're putting in. Remember I said we needed 2 of these, we needed 3 of these, we needed 2 of these and 1 of those. But it can get expensive, right? So watch what you're putting in, and now you'll know, and you'll see when you're buying things, you can say, oh, I can use this to do like Melissa did and add just around the top of my pancake wreath and add a little bit more flair. I did one it's also here on our YouTube channel. I did one in the summertime, and it was like pink, yellow. I think it had daisies, and I added a little bit of bundles in. It was so cute, super, super cute. Really ended up being a popular thing. So just know I had several people ask to purchase it, and I only had 2, which was sad. But in this case, I'm getting all these things from Hobby Lobby. If you're buying in bulk right now during Christmas time, if you're buying a lot of them, if you're like I do, I like these and I just go and buy the whole thing, you know, you'll have plenty to do that. So I'm just going to add it right in the top. So I'm going to make sure my pipe cleaner gets on the upside of that zip tie there so that it acts as like a thing to hold it in. I'm going to put my pipe cleaner right in the top. Okay, just going to hide that underneath, and then I'm just going to push it in just a little bit, kind of just push it in. That's all, pushing it in. Make sure my ribbons are underneath and are coming out towards the edge. So watch how cute this ends up looking. Let me grab all of them over here. So again, I've made all of them ahead of time so that we would be a little bit quicker. And again, I'm just putting them right in there nice and tight. Adding my pipe cleaner, wrapping it around so I don't have to take it off, and then just kind of pulling it in a little bit. Really easy. Now, I will show you one thing that I was going to add that I ended up not adding, only because I could only find 2 in this whole entire basement. So it didn't really work out, but I think it would have been even better. And then I could have waited to go to Hobby Lobby and grab more, but you know, that's never fun when you're really excited to get something started. So this piece here, watch how it would have just added a little bit more. You know, so from here, so you can see from here, then to here would have just brought it out, made it a little bit fuller. I know it would have been great in there. Yeah, it would have been so great. However, you know, I only had 2. And so then I was thinking, well, I could go ahead and add another one of our ferns, right? Another one of our ferns, also a possibility. But then I just, you know, I just said, no, I'm just going to leave it. Mostly because these were already complete and I was being lazy and didn't want to take them apart, if you want me to be really honest. So, you know, you could have added it in, you know, before we put this one in, you could have added in just the fern by itself. Ultimately, I just decided, you know, it's going to be really cute just like it is. It's going to be a great price point to take over to the boutique where I sell. And so I'm just going to leave it. So, you know, different ideas. Again, you can definitely add, but just remember, if you are selling them, those adds do add up to your final price. So if you're like me, where, you know, I do sell at a local boutique, I sell at a certain price point, and I like to keep real close to that price point so that I know my profit's there, it will likely sell over there. So you got to keep those things in mind as you go along. If you are interested in learning more about how and where and what I sell at the boutique, we do have an ebook all about that as well. Okay, so, you know, lots to consider. Somebody sent me a message the other day and they're like, they had 2 different size wreath frames, and they're like, what frame would you use? Well, the sign would have went with either. It just depends on all these other factors. You know, where are you selling? How much are you selling for right now? Is it for a customer? What do they want? What, you know, so many things. It's a loaded question. So if you guys send me text messages or questions or emails or messages, wherever, by the way, text messages are the easiest. If you do that and I'm sending you answers back with questions, It is because it's a loaded, there's no right or wrong. What do you want? What do you like? What do you prefer? Okay, let's go ahead and make, oh, let's see how it looks. Let's see how it looks without a bow. Adorable. Super stinking cute. Really cute. We're going to add a bow right here. Okay, so all I did for the sign, it's a metal sign. All I did was take my hole puncher and I punched 2 little holes right in that star and 2 little holes right in the E, and I used wire to attach. So much easier, so much more secure, and you know, I don't have to really worry about what's happening beyond when it goes out my door. Okay, let's add in a real simple, sweet little bow. I don't need it to be big. I don't want it to be big. So let's go ahead and add maybe just three layers. Okay, so let's go with I like that. Let's go with a 9-inch. Let's go with a 9-inch tail. And then I'm just going to go with like a 5-inch loop. So it's not going to be too big. I just don't want it to cover maybe a 4-inch loop. I just don't want it to cover 4.5. I don't want it to cover too much of that little thing we got going on here. So let's go 4.5. It's not going to be a big bow. 4.5. And let's go 2 loops on each side. 2 loops on each side. Sweet little bow. Nothing huge. Pinch, twist, and loop. There we go. Pinch, twist, and loop. It's going to bring 2 loops on each side and make a tail on each side as well. Twist. I'm going to set that in there. If y'all have been following me for a while, you know I have carpal tunnel super bad. And so I use my Easy Bow Maker here to help me so much. And this is like a flannel. And so it doesn't really, it's not really thick. So it's going to kind of curl up there, but it's fine. Then we're going to go with a black and white, just adding in, or not adding in, but bringing that black and white over to the bow. Again, a little bit smaller. And this one I'm going to do just 1 loop on each side, just 1 loop. Again, sweet little bow, nothing crazy big. I added enough of my budget into those little bundles, and so I'm trying to make the bow super cute still, just not, you know, lots of ribbon. And so, you know, sometimes I do that when I'm just kind of balancing the cost as best as I can. So instead of using a 12-inch sign, which is usually about $2 more ish, I'm using a 10-inch sign. That happens to be what I had on hand, but, you know, and I think this one might just be 1 little button. 1 little button, just one little loop, which is totally fine. A little bit different. Again, I don't want to take away from all those beautiful, all where we put our budget, right? We put our budget right there. I'm looking for a zip tie that has, here it is. I was going to say has gone away, okay? So then I'm going to take this off of there nice and easy. Before I get it all the way up, I'm going to make sure I got a hold of it, pull it up nice and tight, add my zip tie. So I didn't add any green to this bow just because, you know, the sign and the, I mean, even though we put some pine in there, still not, you know, green. I didn't want to add green to the bow. I wanted to keep it that red and black, Okay, add my wire. This is just a 22 gauge wire. I do get them from Hobby Lobby. You can get them over in the section where the foam wreath frames are. This is where I get my U-pins, and then I bring that button right up to the top, that little sweet little finishing loop there. Really, really cute, super easy, super sweet. Just darling, just like that, right? Okay, and then now it'll go in right where we want it. So let's get our sign attached. Now, the most important thing with the sign, any sign, is you want your sign to cover your pipe cleaners. That's the number one job of the, okay, come on. It's the number one job of the sign. Sign and the bow have to cover your pipe cleaners. So if they are showing still, if your pipe cleaners are showing still, you want to make sure you're adjusting and moving things around so that you don't see those. And I'm just going to get those through. I'm not going to pull it in super tight just yet, but I am going to snuggled. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Making sure that that bow is going to go right there. Yeah, perfect. Make a little spot for it to go right there. Love, love, love. So cute. And another thing for snowmen, you know, people might not buy a Christmas wreath as a gift, but they may buy a snowman wreath as a gift. You know, lots of people collect snowmen, and that's their theme and that's their thing. And so, you know, you want to make sure you have options for people. If you're doing this for a living, if you're doing this for a business, you know, you want to make sure you have options for folks who are looking for Christmas shopping. And then again, all I'm doing is twisting, 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 twisting. And then once I have it mostly twisted, I'm going to twine it, curl it, whatever you want to call it, and then stuff it under. So I don't cut them off, because when you cut them off, you're making that wire so much smaller, and the more opportunity for it to kind of just wiggle out there, and then that pointy edge is just running along the door. So I do like to keep it long and then curl it so that it can have a reason to stay under there. Less chance for it to just come undone. So cute. Okay, so I'm spreading out a little bit more, making sure I have a spot for our pieces. Still haven't played with our ribbons yet. And then I'm going to go right down on top right down on top, right through here. And I'm again looking for that frame to attach it. You saw I attached the sign right to the frame, and we're going to do the same for the bow. So stinking cute. Okay, we're going to go right in. The only thing one of the things, this mesh, although darling, it's hard to get through because those little polka dots are not, like, they don't let you go through them, right? They are a fabric. And so I know you can't go through ribbon, but those little guys are equally annoying. Cute, but in my way. Okay, we are in. Again, I'm going to snuggle ourselves just enough to be not smushed in there, but definitely not loosey-goosey, kind of hanging off the edge. I'm doing that same thing, just twining that and twirling it and getting that up in underneath. And then make our bow just sitting perfect. put our tails down. Adorable. Super, super cute. Just perfect. I'm gonna just trim this. Make sure I cut that one and then trim this one a little bit because that black and white is a little bit longer. Adorable. Now the last thing, or two things. One, I'm going to grab my pipe cleaner, an extra one, and I'm going to go to the back. I'm going to find out where my center is. So I always try to add a hanger to the wreath. I like to add it right in the center, okay? Right in the center, because that's where, depending wherever your center is. It doesn't matter where your bow is, but wherever your center is. So I like to do right in the center. I'm going to find where my center is, and I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and go right underneath, and then just kind of eyeballing, making sure it's right where it needs to go. And then I'll turn this over so that you can see. But then we're going to go right in, and we're going to add in like a big loop, okay? So all I'm going to do first is just twist this so now it's one big circle, and then I just twist those kind of on the round there, and then this is going to be pointy pokey, so I'm going to put it right underneath there so that again I have nothing pokey on the outside. And then to keep it in place, so I'm going to pull it here just to make sure. Let me just make sure and turn it over to make sure it's in the center and it didn't shift or didn't move. Perfect. Okay, and then it just happens to be where that notch is, which is great. I'm going to add 1 or 2 twists so that it doesn't move. And now I have my little hanger there. So easy breezy, helps me, because otherwise, you know, you're adding your hanger and it starts to go up into this piece of mesh and it stops you. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like the added piece here. Please make sure you are subscribed if you want a notification every time we have a new YouTube video. Please make sure you're on our email list, which you can go to 2 places. You can go to don'tmissemails.com, don'tmissemails.com, and get yourself signed up there. Or, of course, if you're going over to Learn from Melissa to check things out, you can look there, and there's an e-spot to add your email list there. The last thing, as promised, I try to go at the very end because I'm going to lift this baby up right from here, take it right over to the door and take a picture. So I'm going to take all of our ribbons, and you see that polka dot there? It's doing some work for me. It's giving this design a texture. Usually it's a plain mesh. So that's why the border, you can see all the polka dots are where the border of that mesh is. Actually, this is a good example to see how much you actually can see the mesh. Again, I know that might not be from your exact angle, but it is definitely present in this design for sure. Really super cute. That's all for me. This is Melissa from Sincerely Creative Mom. Again, if you're looking for anything we can help you with, our creative coaching, other classes we have available, other resources, our favorite list of tools, our favorite list of suppliers, all the things you can find it over at learnfrommelissa.com. I appreciate you all for being here, and I can't wait to see you soon. Let me just zoom you out so you can see the whole thing. Really cute. Really cute. Adorable. You can do this. It's really, really easy. And that's all for now. I'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.